Um, okay, well, I will just kick it off. I cannot believe it. This is our last book club of 2025. And I think that we're really knocking it out of the park with this last one. Um, because we've got Addie on the line. But this is our bottom reader book club. This is our second full year of doing this. So we have our live book clubs where we talk to Mississippi authors from around the South. It's a core part of what we do at Rooted Book Club. I'll just introduce myself. I'm Lauren Rhodes. I'm a writer. I'm a Mississippi transplant based here in Jackson, Mississippi. And I founded Rooted in 2022. And I'm the author of Split the Baby. And I'm here tonight with my co-host, Talamika Bryce. Talamika, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am unprepared. I'm Talawika Bryce, artist,
Cool.
yeah, artist, activist, filmmaker, and I'm just like, and JSU grad, the I love, and I'm really glad to be here with my fellow JSU alum, Addie. So yes, that's who I am. I'm so excited.
Okay, so our mission here at Rooted is to tell stories of place from the people who call Mississippi home. And of course, the book club is a core part of that, where we talk to writers with a connection to the South and books that explore place, which, of course, Dominion, our book that we're talking about tonight, totally does. Okay, Talamika, can you introduce Addie Kitchens for us?
I will try my best, but I don't know if I could do her justice, but I'll try my best. I know we both have those southern tongues. So there's a word here I'm probably going to mess up real bad, but just pray for me here. So, Addie Kitchens was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and now lives in New Orleans. She's a graduate of the Jackson State University, and she studied at Florida State University in its creative writing program and the Kalula Creative Writing Workshop. Her work has appeared in the New Yorker, the Paris Review, among other publications. Her blues history work features prominently in Mississippi folk life. She was the inaugural recipient of the Ferrera, I think, Strauss and Guru Writers
FSG.
Fellowship. Yeah, all right. Yeah, there you go, FSG and Writers Fellowship. And her short story, That Girl, won the O. Henry Prize. Dominion is her first novel.
Welcome,
Thank y'all for
Addie.
having me.
Thank you for being here.
Here. Of course, I've talked to you before about Dominion. We talked when you were a guest on the Arts Hour and then at the Welty Symposium earlier this year. Um, I love this book. I feel like I've been hearing about this book since the beginning of this year. Elise Smith, who is one of longtime Rooted subscriber and a friend, was like, "Hey, have you heard of Dominion?" This was like, I feel like in February of this year. So it's been getting a lot of buzz and it lived up to the hype for sure. Um, so I'm just so happy that you're here and you're also so down to earth too. So like fangirling and you're also just a cool person to talk to. So um glad you could be on. And I know Talamika, you also loved Dominion.
I did so much, as I was saying offline, like I really felt seen through this book. Um, I felt akin to how I felt when I first read Heavy, and that like I felt like Heavy was written for me. But at the same time, like Dominion has a different sweetness to it. Just growing up in the black church, like it reminds me of like ruffled white socks and black patent leather shoes, like and red velvet churches. Like I felt so seen with all of it. I love the way, and these are like some of the questions. Like I love the way that you opened the book talking about the Seven Seals Church. Can you talk to us about your decision to open with that, with establishing the timeline of the church?
I didn't know that was originally gonna be the end, and I knew it was gonna be somewhere in there, but that came from the fact that my mom used to do a timeline every year,
Mm,
of the church. She was church secretary, and so she would do a timeline every year, and I was fascinated with it, and so I was like, "I'm gonna do that one day," and so I just made one up, and I knew it was for this novel because I knew this novel was coming, so yeah, I just stuck it in this one, and so that's how it came to be. It's just something my mom used to do for our church, and it was one of those things, just like an event in the novel. That was something that that was something that we used to experience as kids. So yeah, that's how I did the timeline, and I also wanted to set up how easily someone can destroy, you know, something that took so long to build. You know
yeah,
how
yeah.
easy,
Mm. I just want
because
to
there's
shout
a
out someone in
permanence
the
in it.
comments. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, there's a permanence in the timeline, but it's wrecked by the end of the novel.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, Gabriella in the chat says the timelines are a must for the church anniversary service. My mom used to read them out. So I feel like a lot of people who grew up going to church see themselves in this. I mean, I'm not from Mississippi and I was raised Jewish and Catholic. And I've talked to you about this, Addie. I didn't even know like first lady was a term for the
mm,
pastor's wife. Um, I mean, but I felt so much of the Mississippi I recognize, and of course you're able to see yourself in the characters no matter what your background is, and just being steeped in that church culture is so fascinating. So I love that Talamika and I both had very different experiences with the church, and so different entry points into the book. But
I
yeah,
wanted
talk
to
about
think
the
that there
sermon.
was
Yeah, or go ahead. Yeah.
anything. I wanted to think that there was something in there for everybody. Even if you're from a very different demographic than what the story is about. I thought, just even like just how the characters are, the little pettiness. I wanted everybody to see themselves a little bit in the characters.
yeah.
Yeah, and it gives that very like the story of the seven seals, even it has like the little iconography and like the border. I don't know if you can see my page, the border around it, like it just makes you feel like you're immediately there. It has like the authenticity too. Um oh, and Shira is saying in the chat, Shira is the daughter of a rabbi, and she says the clergy family experience is very similar across religions. So
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
also really interesting, yeah. Um, yeah, talk to us about why you wanted the pastor and the pastor's family to kind of be at the center of the novel. Because it starts
This
with
way.
him.
So there was like this saying that pastors' kids are the worst,
Mm,
and I kind of was playing on that. And also, I just something about, I've watched pastors my entire life. So there was something I wanted to explore about the character of a person who does that for a living. I really want to explore because that's kind of like the most power you can get in a small town setting. And giving a person power tells you ultimately about who they are at their most base level. Power doesn't normally enhance personalities. It just tells you who people were all along. So
Mhm.
I wanted to play with this idea of power and relative power, relative dominion with
mm.
using a pastor and his family.
I also wanted
Yeah.
to ask, oh, sorry. I also wanted to ask about your decision to use I have questions about the names in the book. Like they are so rich and spot on. They feel like real people. And I kind of wonder, are they one? Because I also noticed that you use like G.E. Patterson's in the book as well.
Yes, there's like that. Those are the things. Those are the little Easter eggs I drop. If you're from if you know, you know.
Right.
So I wanted